Today, when you go around, I think the fact that entrepreneurship is being spoken about so much and so much is happening, I think just shows that it has arrived. But, I do represent an industry which is, say, about 20, 25 years old, and everything that you see today is actually people who came as entrepreneurs, people who came from middle class. They had an idea, and they actually created a market when there was none. In fact, it wasn't about market share that our industry was winning. It was actually creating market. People didn't realize that 10,000 miles away, just because you had a connectivity, you could do very exciting work that could be done here. And it's also a tribute to the fact that we have today in our sector almost 3 million young people at the average age of 27 who are delivering to the world, creating exciting products, and being able to add value. And the excitement is that a large number of them are also dreaming and working out as to how can they become entrepreneur and add more value. So I think the state has a role in terms of what they do, how do they nurture environment. So if you ask yourself, what do you want the government to do? And I think I would really say very few things. I think we just need them to provide an environment where the friction between business and the state is reduced. Large companies also need it, small need it, but small need it more, because large companies do have an infrastructure to manage, but when you're an entrepreneur, just 2 or 3 of you as founders, you want to focus on your business rather than talking about compliance, meeting inspectors, and so on. And the tendency in the government always is to use a broad brush. They always have this thing about controls and compliance. And I think as they do this, they come up with policies which become very restrictive, put a huge burden on compliance, plethora of acts. So there are many things that are in the works, such as GST and direct tax code, etc., which should hopefully simplify. But we do hope that also many of the archaic laws that are there do get removed, or at least get exemption for the first few years of the company's existence, where the government today is providing funds for very early stage funds. But I think let's for a moment put the state aside. I think that's one job that they need to do, but they're only one part of the ecosystem. I think what we need to do is also to be providing a very nurturing environment. Today, we are very happy to see that there are VCs, there are angels, there are incubators. TAI is doing a great job. We were also very surprised to see, in fact, that a large number of people who are today's entrepreneurs are focusing on solving a problem. And the number one problem that they were talking about was education and skill development, because they see this is where the action is, government is committed to it, and we need to do more work. 65% of the entrepreneurs were in 20s, right? So they were not necessarily people with 20 years or 15 years of experience. These were young people, picked up some experience and wanted to do it. 75% of them were willing to relocate. They were not tied down to where they were. They said, if it works for me in this place, I'll move. Only 25% needed up to investment up to 10 lakhs, and 50% said we need only 25 lakhs. So they were not looking for millions of dollars or several crores. So this is what the early stage was. So I think there is this new demand that's coming in, a demand where there are VCs, there are angels, but on the other hand, there is an early stage requirement that's coming in. So we started this program with actually 3 pillars. And we said, I think we need to evangelize this. We must tell people that entrepreneurship can be a career that you choose. It's not necessarily for you to go through the learning program. And when you hear of all these great examples of Facebook and Google and where they started and where did HP start, and you'll all find that those entrepreneurship came in not because people came out of the industry, but these were ideas that were germinating in the colleges. So how do we ensure that people are excited? How do we create more and more white spaces to do? How do we ensure that they move from prototypes to beyond? So for us, this 10K startup program is to actually do 700 such events where we'll get these people talking to each other in the next 2 years, where they will learn, network, and collaborate. So evangelizing is a very major. The second is you might have a great idea, and you might want, you have all the support, but then do you have the capability? Just being a techie or being a salesperson, you're not going to run a business. So you need all the faculties. How do you manage HR? How do you manage finance? How do you manage markets? So this is about really mentoring people, creating learning centers so that you can actually have people who can teach you and who can learn you. And by the way, we're talking one-to-many. So normal methods of a face-to-face mentoring is probably not going to be the most effective. So I'll share with you what's happening. So we also need very early stage support. It could be, I don't have a place. Can I get into an incubation? Can I find some place? Connectivity, mentoring, and the need for each other. So you're already seeing incubators coming in over time, and you're seeing how people are co-located in a single place, and that kind of entrepreneurship is coming in. So I think there are many white spaces that are there. So it's not about entrepreneurship where you get into it and you pick up market share, but really about getting into entrepreneurship and creating the market rather than addressing the market. So I think the change that we're seeing in India is about creation of market rather than addressing the market. So on that note, wish the conference a success, wish all of you as entrepreneurs. I think there's tons of stuff happening. There will be organizations like Nasscom and TIE and FICCI and all these who would do a lot of work, and I hope that you're able to leverage it. Come over to our websites and explore, and I'm sure you're going to see things that can be of value to you. Thanks very much.